Hey, hey. Hey.
お願いし
お願
ます。
いします。はい。Okay. And side to side. And ear to shoulders. Hey, circles one way. Circles the other way. Hey, arms. Wow. Back. Front. And sides. Hey, breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Go. Thank you. Go. Engage your core muscles, lower your hips. Hands in front. Hand tight. There you go. Benji. Go. Side. Push. Hands up, forward, and down. Hey, your knees on the back. Circles one way. Circles the other way. And both sides. And down. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Open your toes. Down again. Both. And your hips. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inside crescents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Knee raises. Engage your core muscles because remember there is also torsion of the upper body. So engage your core muscles and raise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Change to the side, your legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Open your legs. Jigo tight. Open your knees. Open to one side. Squat again. Open to the other side. Squat again. And up. And once again, lowering. Opening of your knees. Opening to one side. Oh. The other side. So. And up. And again, down. Knees. One side. Knees. The other side. Knees. And up. Good. Open your legs. Elbows down. So. Coming forward. And back stretch. And going forward, but stay on your knees. Okay, so stay on your knees, on your hands, and raising your hip up. And turning your back down. And moving it around one side, one direction. So the other direction. And back. Forward again. Raising it up. Pushing it down. Moving it in one direction. Moving it in the other direction. And down. One more time. Coming up. Raising hip up. Pushing it down. Move it in one direction. And the other direction. And down. Up again. This time stay in your 4-point position, but what we're going to do is we're going to raise one knee, and we're going to try to open up, okay, that that hip, you know, nice and easy. Try to keep both hands on the ground, so careful to not tilt too much on one side. So keep more or less your equal distribution, and raise one leg and bring it down. See how much that that hip flexor can open, like a bit of a on a sideways motion, but do it very slow, very slow, very slow. Don't shoot it up. Okay, just do it slow. Check your range of motion, bring it down, raise it up, check your range of motion, bringing it down. Okay, so hands down, raising one side, one, bring it down, raising it up, two, down, three, down, four, down, five, down. Change to the other side. One, two, three, four, five. Good. All right. So this time raise into the same thing. We're going to raise up a little bit, and we're going to see if there is a little bit more mobility, not only laterally, but also a little bit in a circular fashion with your own knee. So explore the mobility or the stuckness of your hip opening sideways and then moving forward, moving back, moving forward, moving back. Okay, so hands down, open your hip, pushing it forward, pushing it back, pushing it forward, back, 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 and down, and rest. Okay, so just checking how that hip flexor, the psoas, etc., are moving in those 3 or 4 planes. Okay, so hands down again, and raising to one side. Moving forward and back, forward and back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, closing down and rest. All right, from your knees now, shooting forward, try to open up that flexor, shooting back, sitting down on the hamstring, opening up in 45 degrees. So now with this 45 degrees opening, there are a few options depending how still you feel. If you hold your own weight, that's the most gentle option because you are measuring with your own support how much do you move. Okay. If you lean your hands down and try to touch the ground, that starts to open up the stretch without support. And eventually, if you have a weight like a dumbbell or kettlebell, sometimes work for that, where the weight pulls you down. It also kind of enhances that sensation of dropping off. But at the moment, if you are doing it without any equipment, just start maybe by using your hands, just to checking its health, how much it's opening. And then eventually by relaxing your two hands and seeing if you can come down and touch or how far you can touch within those two things, okay? So sitting down again. The other side, shifting forward, left flexors. Sitting back, the hamstring. Opening up, support. Back, open up, hands in front, and reaching towards the floor. And one more time. So, sitting down. Again, the other side. Forward. Back. Opening up with support. Opening up with hands inside. So, one more time, inside. Forward. Sitting back. Opening up. And back. And open up again. And back. And sitting down. Okay. This time, jumping up and deep and controlled squats. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we're working quite a bit on the hip flexor today. So see how it feels. Open it up. Okay, standing up, rotating in one direction, rotating in the other direction, and depending on how you feel the health of your flexor at the moment, that should shoot towards 2 different exercises. Okay, if you feel that your hip flexor needs a little bit more of a checkup, more of a review to see how it's traveling, revert back again towards these side openings. Okay, sitting down, side openings, sitting down. Okay, combined to your 45 with as much support as needed. So if your hip flexor needs a little bit more care and compassion in terms of how it's moving, just feel a little bit more. If you feel that it's in a good shape, let's do some gorilla walks now. Sitting down, hands in front of you. Remember, gorilla walks slowly, they already demand quite a lot because we are in a deep squat position. Okay, So your hands are going to come down, finger by finger, are going to be moving in. Your feet are your knees are almost going to touch the ground. Then you're going to propel yourself forward. And again, that's the way the flexors get a good work. So hands down, forward, and up. Hands down, forward. Okay, and so on, please. So gorilla walks, front and back, or opening of your hips and opening of your flexors, depending how much support you feel the hip flexors need. Okay. So. So this time you're going to go between 3 exercises: deep squat, gorilla walk, and hip hinge. Okay, so we're going to go deep squat, 1 gorilla walk, coming up, hip hinge on one side, hip hinge on the other side, deep squat, gorilla walk, up, hip hinge on one side, hip hinge on the other side. Okay, so nice and slowly with those three combination, because they have 3 different movements, 3 of them necessary for our practice. So lowering, moving, up, hinge on one side, up, hinge on the other side, up. Okay, we're just checking again how much mobility or lack of there is on those hip flexors. Okay, Amigo, please, those 3 movements. Okay. Slowly. If you have to spend more time in the hinges, then so be it. Okay. So if your hip flexors are really not in a good shape this morning, just spend a little bit more time on your hip hinges. Okay, just a little bit more time on your hip hinges. Even if you need support on a chair. Okay, as long as there is mobility and a little bit of blood flow into that area. So, depending how your hinges are. Okay. And then maybe turn around and do this one here. Oh. Sure. No. Okay, just as an extra challenge for Shisei. Okay, so what kind of brings it all home is how much attention we put to Shisei. So, keep your posture as much as if your mobility is not too bad, keep your posture by, making sure that your head stays up, your hips go down in your deep squat. Okay, careful that your head doesn't go down and your hips go down. So your head stays up, your hips go down. Okay, so your head goes up. The next one with the gorilla walk, very similar. As straight as you can, hands down, move up. We're still in deep squat, same thing. Your head goes up, okay, with good posture. With your hip hinge, make sure that you don't lead with the shoulders at the moment. Try to open up with the hip and try to open up with the hip. Okay, so very careful. If you want to practice your posture together with the movement, make sure that your head and your shoulders don't lead the movement, okay? Your head stays up, your hip leads, your head stays up, your hip leads, okay? Your shoulders stay as back as possible, your hips lead, your shoulders as possible, okay? So same movements, but with Shisei, as much as you can keep the Shisei. Little hip hinge flow. And thank you. Sitting down, please. And we're already on this, so let's keep opening those hip hinges. So shin box position on one side, shin box position on the other side. Shin box on one side, shin box on the other side. Shin box on one side, shin box on the other side. Turn 90 degrees and stretch that side. So the other side, turn 90 degrees and extend. And again, turn 90 degrees and extend. And the other side, turn 90 degrees and extend. So, change to the other side. Shin box extension, one, down, and shin box extension, one, down, extension, one, down, okay, extension, down, change. Okay, so this time we're going to do the same thing but moving forward into a shiko. Okay, so we're going to come into a shin box extension and then 1, 2, 3, 4 shin box. Okay, so shin box extension 1, 2, 3, 4, sit. Shin box 1, 2, right with me, 3, 4, sit. Okay, so go please from shin box position to shiko, shin box position to shiko. Okay, as much support as needed with your hands. Okay, so here up. Okay, and then shiko. 1, 2, 3, sit. Up. 1, 2, 3, sit. Okay, so please shin box to shiko. Shin box to shiko. Shin box. Really close. Now this time, try a shiko version, which is more for mobility rather than well, no, it depends. It depends. There are certain motions on Subari Wasa that require this broader movement. I was going to say it's more for functionality than for Budo application, but not necessarily, because there's a couple of occasions where this wider movement is necessary. Normally shiko, we keep our knees quite low, and the movement happens from the hips, right? So the knees stay low, and then the movement happens from the hips. A little bit more functional shiko, kind of raise the knees and challenge them on the way down. Raise and challenge. Raise and challenge. Raise and challenge. So in this case, the knees don't stay almost to the ground, which is normally how we will work shiko. They will raise and slowly find their way down. Raise and slowly find their way down. Okay, so in this case, try a little bit this wider movement of shiko. Raise up, knee down. Raise up, knee down. Raise up, knee down. raise, knee, okay? So this is much wider movement, and once you get into down, come back into your shin box, okay? So Shiko, but with a higher raising of the knee. Be very careful and very slow on the way down, okay? For a couple of reasons, especially do not hit, okay? That's number one. And number two, just study your ankles, your toes, your hip flexor require a little bit of motion to do that. So raise your knee, pull yourself down, raise your knee, put it down into shin box. Okay, let's try with the Shiko a little bit wider movement. Raising that knee. There you go. Without banging it too high. Oops. Let's see how all of this work feels, Alex. Either it's going to help and feel a little bit better, or it's finally going to make it more sore, because it's a lot of work on your hip hinge. So it's modulated as much as necessary. Right. Oh, good. All right. So there's one or two techniques where that is quite required, depending on how big your movement is. For example, Shomenuchi. Yeah. Then we move into Sankyo. Normally it's a big step, it's a big movement in front, and then requires that control. So normally we do it in and then we move. So yeah, control, Sankyo, up, big movement, and it's a wider kind of Shiko, because we're trying to move from here all the way into a mortar form, all the way into the front of my partner, which will require a much bigger step, and therefore a more mobility on my hips and on my entire anatomy, and then slowly here and move. So let's just practice that movement by ourselves from Shiko, stepping in quite deep. Okay, going back again. Stepping in quite deep. Come back again. Step in quite deep. Bring your back foot and turn. Okay, stepping in quite deep. Bring your back foot and turn. Okay, so just practice that one, shooting your leg forward quite big. This is a quite big opening. And then, before you put this knee down, bring the back foot together, and now put it down. Move to the side. Shoot quite wide. Before this goes down, this comes together, down, and then move back. Okay, so just practice that. Again, open your hips. We'll keep flexor work today. Yeah, so in this position here. That was the first. So you break it into 4 parts. Each, deep wide, knee, san, shit. Each, knee, san, shit. Okay? So try it. Careful. There you see the challenge of that transition, and how it's from here. We'll do the challenge here. I'm supposed to kind of bring everything. Alright, standing up, please. Now with these super open hips now. Yeah, that's right. This super open hip again, this time. So 4 basic Thai Savakis that we practice during the week. Okay, Irimi with Kuriashi. Irimi with Ajumiyashi. Okay, one more time. Irimi with slide of Kuriashi. Irimi with a step. Irimi with a slide. Irimi with a step. Irimi with a slide. Irimi with a step. Irimi with a slide. Irimi with a step. And now, currently kind of facing sideways. Yoko Kuriashi, okay? We say it's a little bit like basketball kind of defense. It's a little bit like the basketball defense, but with rather than priority of movement, the priority is on alignment and on control, which means one hand is down, keeping your feet in front. Okay, your hips are down and moving in one direction, change direction, change side, the other direction. Okay, so making sure that your hand is always in front because eventually that's going to be Aikido or Iminagi or whatever happens. Okay, so hand out and in one direction. 1, 2, 3. Release your hips. Okay, lower your hips. The other side. 1, 2, 3. Release. Okay, lower. Try to use the opposite hand of the direction that you will go. So you're going to the left. Use your right hand. The opposite the other side. 1, 2, 3. Release. And again. Go. 1, 2, 3. Release. Once again down. 1, 2, 3. Release. 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 A couple more times by yourselves, please. A couple more times. Okay. This time combine those two, please. Stepping in, Yumiyashi, lower and out. Okay. Yumiyashi, stepping in, lower, out. Okay. So Yumiyashi and then Yoko Kuriashi. Okay. Each, knee, stand. This side. Each, knee, stand. This side. Each, knee, stand. 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 Oh, each, knee, stand. So, to finish up, let's finish with the solo version of the Kokyu-ho to Kesagatame. We move into Kokyu-waza with our hips, and then we transition into shin box for Kesagatame position. Okay, so that's the exercise, one exercise that we did on the week. So let's do it just to finish up now. So remember, the important thing is to move your hips, Okay, so you're going to raise your hands, open to one side, Put them down with your spine. Leave them where they are, okay? And now shoot your legs in between those hands. Okay, your knee should be in between the hands into shin box position. Okay, let's do it again. There you go. Okay, raising up again. Let me do it this way. Raising up, opening up. Use your spine. Put your hands down. Shooting, knee inside. Into shin box. Sitting up again. To the other side, breathing in. Open your hip, use your spine, cool. Hands down, shoot your knee inside. Shin box. Other side, breathing in. Hips, spine, hands, shin box. Inside, here, go, shake. Hey, let's finish. So maybe in the next few Fridays, this one, for example, is going to focus a lot on mobility exercises, more than usual. I did very little technique today because this month and next month, I don't know if you have noticed, but during the class, I keep the warm-up very short. I'm keeping the warm-ups very short. We did a lot of core exercises last month and a lot of mobility drills and things like that during training. This month, next month, I will be trying to keep the warm-ups very short. Okay, just to kind of get the body ready and then move, because we're covering a lot of grading techniques during the classes. So I will put less emphasis on our phase 1 training. And I will put more emphasis on our phase 4 training, which is our part where performing nage and leading techniques. But phase 1 is necessary all the time. So it's by that we're not doing it in training. Hopefully, it doesn't mean that we don't do it during the week. Therefore, I'm going to put a little bit more time on Friday classes to do many of the mobility exercises and body weight exercises that I'm not doing or we're not doing during training in regular days. Okay, so that's a little bit of the trade-off for this month and until our seminar in April. Okay. Okay. Ready. Hey.
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
Thank you.